Okay, guys, BL Carter here, affectionately known as Miss B. In this video I want to do today, talking about women in weaves and added hair. And this is actually a remake. I did this the other day when I was driving somewhere, and it was dark just like it is now, and it was a little too dark, so I said, well, I'm gonna do it again. And for those of you who don't know, I tend to kind of flow, so hopefully I'll remember, because actually the content was awesome, but the video was not, was too dark. So hopefully, excuse me, I remember to say everything I said the first time around. But actually this came up again this week, but we hear a lot of talk about people talking about the women that are wearing weaves and added hair and wigs and stuff like that. And I heard twice actually some comments about the women in the weaves, etc. And I just figured, okay, well, you know what, I'll pipe in on it too. Women wear weaves and added hair for various reasons. As you can see, I have my braids in, and yes, I do have added hair in my braids. Just because it makes my braids last longer with a little bit of the added hair in. I mean, that's one reason why I do that, but women have different reasons. One reason might be health. And for example, we know the women with cancers and going through those treatments, they tend to have, you know, some hair loss, so they may wear some sort of added hair, whether it's just weave or just a little bit to I guess make it thicker, or it may be a full-fledged wig. I know when I went through my nuclear medicine process for my particular autoimmune condition, I did have some loss of hair. Not to the extreme of bald like a full-fledged cancer patient, but because I had to be administered some similar drugs, I did have some hair loss. And but during that time I was in braids, so most people didn't even see it. They didn't even realize it, because I kept my hair in braids. And it wasn't because of that, it was just out of convenience, really. But you know, people with thyroid conditions tend to have hair changes. Our hair may grow longer but thinner. It's like the strands come out, so they have fewer strands. It may still grow in length, but you'll have fewer strands. The hair shaft itself might weaken some, or depending on which end of the thyroid spectrum you're on, your hair may become brittle and dry and fall out, or waddle out, you know, if you don't tie it up at night, or whatever the case may be, or just thin overall. Or you may wind up with a bald spot here and there, because the autoimmunes tend to go together. We know alopecia is an autoimmune that affects the hair, and there are quite a few women that are dealing with some level of it. You know, some women lose a lot of their hair, some lose, you know, patches here and there. I know one woman has a bald spot literally right smack the top of her head. And she's got a great stylist that, you know, puts in the added hair and kind of curved. She does these styles to keep it where you can't really tell. So if you don't know her, you don't notice she has the bald spot. Hormone fluctuations also impact hair. So women are wearing hair, extra hair, added hair, for various reasons. Oftentimes health plays a role. I know there was a time when I did added hair just to try different styles, different colors. It's like, well, I wonder what I would look like with burgundy hair. So I wouldn't put in the burgundy in my head. So you get a wig, add some weavage, whatever it is, put the color on it. If you don't like it, boom, throw it away. Or, you know, if you do like it, great. it might be something you're considering doing in the long run. But just for the health of my hair, I don't want to put it in my hair. So, you can try different styles. What about cutting? I know there was a time when I did a major chop. Like, my hair is natural up underneath out of the braids, and it's full, like thick, not thick. It's got an okay curl pattern. It's not too tight, but it's not very loose either. So it's got a reasonable curl pattern, but there are a lot of strands, so it's a lot of hair, and it's got some lengthage to it. Lengthage, that's a word I think the kids told me I made up. I seem like I heard that word somewhere, and so it can be time consuming dealing with hair. And when cutting the hair could be a good thing, but then how do you know what style you want to cut it in? Or how do you know how you're going to look with that hair, cut that way? And so I know there were a couple times in my life that I did the major chop, and I did not get a wig to see what it was going to be like before I did it. Yeah, I live to regret that. The styles were cute, but it took too long to grow out, especially if you're doing different levels and lengths and stuff, and trying to grow all the lengths back the same. Excuse me. And then you have the women who do the added hair just out of convenience, like I mentioned earlier. For my hair, at this point, it's convenient for me. In order for me to be the mother, the wife, the house cook, the doctor, the lawyer, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, and everything else in between, I ain't got time to be dealing with my hair. That's just the reality of it. If I've got 15-20 minutes extra in the morning or in the evening or whatever, I'd prefer to try to get a snooze button in, or try to get some quiet time of my own, or whatever the case may be. So if I can keep my hair braided, and if it means putting the added hair, that's fine, because that puts me at the ready just like that. I advocate for different people with various situations, and so I could get a call at any time saying, okay, I've got an abused woman and her children here, and they need a place to go, they need someone to talk to, etc. Or dealing with CPS stuff, I may get a call at any time. CPS is there, and they've taken some kids, and the family's in panic, and they want some guidance. I'm not an attorney, but since I have some familiarity with it, I do work with those families. So keeping my hair the braided allows me to be able to go at the ready, without having to get up and deal with brushing and braiding or whatever it is. Another reason for convenience, I remember doing the added hair, was when I was pregnant with the kids. I mean, I carried twins. So instead of one baby sucking out like all my energy and all my brains and everything out of my body, I had two of them in there sucking everything out of me. It took all I could just to stay awake and to make it through an 8-hour workday. And when I came home, I would just literally crash until the next day. So ponytail got old real quick, went to braids. And then the good part about it was, whenever it came time for delivery, I didn't have to worry because I kept my hair always braided. So, you don't want to be in the delivery room or you're in the hospital after the baby's there, all your visitors are coming, and your hair is sitting on top of your head. You really want to. So, and that was one thing I definitely did not want anybody getting any pictures of me with my hair all over the place. So keeping the braids in worked in that capacity as well. And then there's the kids, because I did have the twins. They were premature. There were some health issues and stuff or whatever. So again, trying to do all of that, maintain the household, still try to work a demanding career, and then some of the other social things that I do as far as social services, I guess you can call it, and my advocacy. Again, hair If I can be on halfway decent or on point with my hair, in braids or throwing on a wig or the added hair, whatever it is, and still be able to do life the way I want to do life, I'm going to do it. It's not a matter of me wanting to be Becky or not having self-esteem for myself that I need to go change my hair. It's really what's convenient for me. And there are a whole lot of women, and that's actually, I guess, the biggest point of this. There are a whole lot of women who put added hair in for reasons other than trying to be like Becky or having low self-esteem. Yes, there are those who are doing it for the self-esteem. Yes, there are those who want to be like Becky. Yes, there are those who want the sensuality of it, especially those in the adult entertainment industry and stuff like that. But there are a whole lot more that are doing it out of convenience, that are doing it, out of for time. Because, truth is, a woman's still a mother. She's a wife. She's a mother. She's a wife. She's doing career. She's maintaining the household. And like I said, she's doing all the functions of everything else along the way. And she still has to look on point. If it means throwing on a wig this week, that may be what she has to do. So when we're looking at these women with this added hair, keep that in mind. But you can ask instead of assuming, because oftentimes when you're assuming the wrong thing. And if it's for a medical reason, all the more reason for you to encourage her and to support her in her effort, because in that case, it's usually something she has no control over. So she's probably already feeling bad about it. Encouraging her or not having an issue with the hair might be just what she needs to get her over whatever hump she's dealing with that particular day about her situation. So, again, spreading love, just spreading love, getting clarification, getting understanding on why people do things before we start judging them and labeling them. That's going to help us as a people get back to a better way of communicating with each other. If we just get clarification before we start judging and making assumptions.